Erica, how are you doing this afternoon or this evening if you are on Eastern Central Time?
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Thank you, Bob, for that
Right.
wonderful introduction. I loved it. What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of Dope Discussions Live.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? How y'all doing this evening in podcast world?
Pretty soon we're going to have our studio audience in the background clapping.
For real. Hey, look, you know what? Speak that into existence. We are going to make sure, look, this is going to be, look, people talking about the real and the talk and all those other corny names. Those discussions with Erica is going to be something that people know about all across the country and around the world. Testify, say that to all the audience out there. I see Javon out there. What's going on, Javon?
Hey, Javon.
That's just the person to bless this particular show.
Hey, Javon, thank you so much. You are one of the dopest people we know as well.
Heck yes, Javon is amazing, man. Amazing. And that's with a zing, an extra zing in the back. You know,
I want to be like Javon when I grow up.
Heck yes, man. Look, I love that episode with Pastor and Sister Beulah. Oh yeah, I love that. And he say some of the dopest discussionists doing podcasts today. Oh, by the way, just to do a little bit of interjection, there are many people who claim to have dope discussions, but we are the dopest dope discussionists in the world today. Just saying.
Don't start bringing shots at us now. You're going to have people trying to find shots at us.
I want her to come at me. I'm just saying. And yeah, I'm speaking about somebody in particular.
I know you are. We're not giving her no radio play.
Right. I want the smoke.
What's up, Zach? How you doing?
Zach, what's going on? What's
Our
going
people
on?
in the house. Our people in the house.
Living so you want to podcast right after this show, as a matter of fact. Man, that's going to be an awesome one, too.
What's up, Richmond? So I'm doing my Birdman hands, but I'm going to give it over to you. I want you to tell the people.
Oh, yeah.
What juiciness you got for them today?
Oh, we got some nice relationship juiciness tonight. Let me do a little shout out, though. Richmond Brown, my MC partner, my post to the gutter partner. You know, the guy that I rap with and kind of molded myself. This whole Gator Live persona, a lot of that is due to him. I am so happy to have him in the building tonight. What is going on, Richmond?
What's up, Richmond? Welcome to the family.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, we got some juiciness for y'all tonight. We have an excellent panel in the building tonight. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to be talking about sustaining healthy relationships this evening. So yeah, It's going to be awesome. We've got a excellent panel of guests and I can't wait to get started.
Yes. So without further ado, we're going to introduce our guests one by one. These are some people that I handpicked. So
yes,
I'm excited about this. I know they're going to bring some great value to this conversation, some great insight to this conversation. And you know, me and Gator gonna throw some laughs and some jokes in there, so it's all gonna be some great conversation.
Of course, because I'm a funny guy, and you're an awesome host. So we just go put that thing together and just go give y'all some entertainment and some nice vibes to go into your Monday with.
All right, so here we go. Ladies first. We're gonna bring out our first lady panelist. Come on out here, Miss Ashley. Miss Audaciously Meet Ashley.
I was going to say Miss Audacious Ashley.
That's me.
That's her. How you doing, girl?
On your screen. I'm great. How are y'all? I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we are glad to have you. I'm a huge fan of your podcast, and I like to tune into your YouTube and tune into your TikToks because you killing the game on your TikToks right now, girl.
Thank you. I try.
Good.
Right.
So introduce yourself. Introduce yourself
after that last one, yeah.
audience.
Well, I am Ashley D, the host of Audaciously Me podcast. It started off at first, just me being, I guess, expressing my feelings and letting go of all the hurt that I endured. So I changed my name like recently, a couple months ago. I am her. Now I'm Audaciously Me because I like to speak boldly about a lot of stuff. Like some things that most people like to take a step back on, be like, no, I'm not going to bother it. I'm one of those that's like, I'm fixing to say this then. Well,
right. Yeah, you like me, girl. When somebody said, don't press this button, I'm like, but what it do? I got to press it to see what it do.
We got to see. I got to test the waters. I got to just.
Right.
Don't tell me don't tap. Don't tell me don't look, because I'm looking and I'm tapping.
I love it. So you're perfect for this conversation.
Oh yeah.
All right,
definitely.
Ashley. So we're gonna bring you right back out in a moment. We're gonna get our next guest out here. And our next guest is Mr. Mache and Miss Quintel from the ghostreaders.com. Woo!
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hi.
We got the lovely couple in the house.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. How are y'all doing on this beautiful Sunday?
We're great.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. Awesome
I'm glad y'all are here. Y'all got 14 years of expertise, and we need all the deets.
Every little bit of it. We're going to try to juice this orange. I'm telling you. Because we need all that information.
Introduce yourself to the Dope Discussions audience and tell them who you are.
Okay, so I'm Mache.
I'm Quintel.
And we are
Ghost Readers.
Yep. So what we do is we actually narrate books for, our focus is Black authors. So we turn them into audiobooks, and we also do podcast intros and outros and just different voiceover things. So that's who we are. And of course, we're married. We've been married for 14 years, and we have 5 kids.
5 kids.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Who we hope don't interrupt.
I know. I listened to one of y'all episodes, and the kids were in the background, and y'all were like, "They are."
This is life.
Yeah.
Right. It is the life of a podcaster.
It did, though. It added a lot of character to the to the podcast, because you got to hear your real life going on as you were
right.
I like that. All right, so thank y'all for joining us. We're gonna take y'all backstage and bring y'all back out when we get ready for this discussion. All right,
there's a wind coming through here. I know who we got coming up next. Wait a minute now.
Last but certainly not least,
I smell gumbo.
This my new BFF, as he said, my new boy, my new friend. He about to take your spot, Gator. He about to be my best friend.
Wait, goddamn, I just got this job. What are you talking?
Love is all you have, and love is all you need, and love is enough, and all you need is love. They got songs. All you need is love.
I believe in fairy tales and yeah.
Until that's all y'all have, and then it don't work out, and you're like, well, that's what they told us.
Right.
We're here today to get some expert opinions on that. We're here today to dispel that myth, because we want the next generation to be more well equipped in relationships so that you can sustain them and you can have 14 years like our guest got on here today.
Right. Is love really enough? I guess is the big question. And I'll leave it up to our guest today. So what say y'all?
Well, first we're going to start out with, I want to ask the panelists, when and how did you first, learn about love and how to operate in a relationship? What was your first experience, and was that a healthy example or was it an unhealthy example? I'm going to start out with Ashley.
Okay. Well, my example was it's real cliche, but my kids. Because honestly, growing up, I didn't really know what love was. Like, I'm not gonna say I just had the worst childhood and nobody showed me love. Believe me, my mama was great, but it was a whole lot of stuff that was missing that I know now about. And it's like I got out of this bad relationship, and throughout that whole thing, I felt as though everybody had turned their backs on me, but the only people still standing there and rooting for me, saying, "Mama, I love you. Mama this, Mama that," were my kids. And that's when I learned to look within and like, okay, Ashley, you got to fix yourself. Then I started to love myself, and I now know like unconditional love and not just, I guess you could say, traditional love. Like they showed me what the world and most people before them did not give me.
Okay.
And that's how I learned about love.
I love it. So we're going to go over here to the relationship gumbo expert. I want to know from you, Derek, when did you first learn about love? How did you experience it? And was it a healthy experience or was it an unhealthy example that you saw?
That's a loaded question. Because like a lot of us, I didn't grow up, like we didn't have a playbook or a handbook on how to do it. And I went through a lot of, I found myself like needy and greedy for it. So I put myself in a lot of situations that I probably shouldn't have been in. And I felt like it was, but in hindsight, it really wasn't. I think similar to Ashley's conclusion, me figuring out how to love. And when I first realized it was when I first started caring more about me and loving myself more. And then I was able to kind of see what made more sense to come in front of me. And then I was able to kind of figure out like, maybe this makes sense now. Before it was just like, who wants to, who want to be down and just be happy. Let's go out and have fun. And that's not what, it takes a lot more than that. So I would say I had to be probably somewhere in my 30s, maybe, before I even knew what it felt like to even have that much control to know what I wanted.
Wow. So as a child growing up, and watching your parents, did you feel like you saw a healthy example of what love is? Is that something that you wanted to emulate in your adulthood, watching your parents?
I would say they loved each other, but I never really saw the mechanics of it. Like I knew it, but I didn't really see how it worked. So I can't really say I wanted to necessarily emulate it, because I think, you know how some people, they love each other, but you don't really see the affection. You don't even really hear the words. And so I found myself as I became an adult that I wanted that. Like I wanted to feel what that felt like. And I chased it with like a fervor. Like I was like, I want hugs. I want kisses. Give me all of that. It was all of the stuff that I never really felt. So I want to say half and half. Like it was healthy because it wasn't abusive or like toxic, but there were some pieces that I thought I needed that was missing. So I had to find it out the hard way.
Oh, wow. Good stuff. So we're going to go over here to Mache and Quintel. I want to ask them that same question. And y'all can answer it individually. How did you first learn about love? And do you feel like you saw a healthy example of love growing up?
You want me to start? Okay. I think for me, I saw a lot of it just in my family. I was blessed with a great family, and everybody that were in relationships, I think even, the ones that weren't necessarily married or just any relationship that took place in my family, I saw, and there was always something that I could take away from that I would say, I want that. I want to be able to have that. I want to be able to, experience that. So in my family, that was, I think, where I first really saw it. And by the time I came to understand it, it was even a part of our wedding song that we wrote, like, by 16, I was like, okay, look, I know what I want. I've seen it. I've seen, what I'd like to have. And that's what I want. So that's why I learned about it in my family. And then by the time I was really looking for that thing, it was like, okay, I see it, but I'm checking off, it got to be more than just the words or whatever. I need to see it. I need to really feel it. And that I think that's what helped me. So it was definitely a healthy thing. I mean, there's enough unhealthy around, but to have that healthy balance in my family, I think that really helped and got me focused really quickly.
Good.
Right.
Good. How about you, Michelle?
Yeah. I mean, I would say my parents are almost storybook, in terms of their love for each other, and I mean, it's funny because, they started at 17 and 19, right? So they were technically supposed to be statistics, but no, I mean, they stayed together. They stuck it out. They have 4 kids too. Like my mom had 4 kids by the time she was 22, I think.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And they did things like I can remember, and I don't think I grasped what it was, but like my dad sent my mom to nursing school. So my dad, because my mom had to study, did all the cooking, took care of the kids and all stuff like that. And then even to this day, my dad still does stuff like telling my mom that they're going out to lunch for their anniversary. And then he's running her to the airport because they're flying to Hawaii. And he did that even through our childhood. Like, I think their 10th anniversary, they went to Mexico. Same. Listen, I don't want to disrespect my mother. I think she's an intelligent woman, but my dad keeps pulling the same trick every time. So 10th anniversary. Oh, baby, we going out to lunch. Picks her up from work. They run into the airport. They went to Mexico. You know what I mean? So that really shaped like how I treat my wife, and like, it's not just about like, I'm the man, I come home, I sit down, you take care of me. I'm like, no, how can I make you happy? And I'm always looking for opportunities to make her life better and make her life enjoyable. And that's something I can't take full credit for that. I learned that from my father.
Yes.
That's an amazing lesson right there.
Yeah, that's a testament. That's a testament to, in your formative years, how you see people love each other in your family and around you forms the way that you view love and forms the way that you look at love and forms the way that you go out and, attract people to you that you want to love and want to have love you. I had a totally different experience than all of you. My view of love growing up was very unhealthy. It came from a place of lack and desperation because my dad wasn't in my life and my mom was a single parent and she wasn't really affectionate. And so when I started to get out there and get into relationships, I thought that I had to prove my lovability in a relationship. I thought that I had to prove that I was worthy of love in those relationships. And I ended up getting into a lot of toxic, unhealthy relationships, one-sided relationships where I was giving and getting nothing in return. So that's a true testament of, what you see as a kid is what you will grow up to do. And I saw that in my childhood.
Yeah.
Right. And it's really important that people realize that your kids, their example in life and the, almost the structure that they follow is going to be based on what they see at home. I mean, if they see a broken relationship at home, 9 times out of 10, they're going to emulate that broken relationship later in life unless there is something to divert them from that particular path. So, when I talk to people about, relationships that they're in, oh, this is an awful relationship. Well, you need to remove yourself, if not for you, not for you, but for your kids, because they're looking at you as an example. They're looking at you as the torchbearer. So you definitely want to make sure that you are looking at your relationships as not just for you, but for them as well. You want to be a great example, just like you were saying about how your dad, the things that he does for your mom, those are examples that you follow, and I'm pretty sure that your children will follow that same example. So, you just want to make sure that you're putting yourself in healthy positions, so that your kids can benefit from what you've learned and how you proceed in your life.
Yes, indeed. And so my next question for you all is, and I think like a couple of my questions were summed up in that one discussion. So I wanted to know, I'm gonna start with you, Ashley, again. Do you feel like love is a feeling or is love a choice?
I feel like it could be either or, but more so of a feeling, because like if you encounter someone, you can love anybody. Let me start with that. Like you can love anybody, but it's just you have to separate it. Like I guess you could call it traditional love, I'm not really sure, or like unconditional love. Like I try to separate the two, and that way I know, okay, this side right here, unconditional love, this happened. I try to do that to handle like certain situations and know when to cut things off with certain people and certain things, because some things you can go with, some things you can go without. You can love it to death, but you can go without it.
Right.
But like as far as feeling in a choice, I would more so say feeling, because you can't really help it if you're like drawn to something or someone. It's just you just have to know when to take a few steps back when dealing with that certain thing and set boundaries so that it's not taking over you, because love is very strong. It's powerful, real powerful, especially when you experience it. So I would say.
About you? What about you, Gumbo Man?
You say Gumbo Man? So, you sound like a character on Martin. Wait a minute.
You got some good questions tonight. So I think, because I've been, just for the FYI, I've been married for 10 years. So I think anybody who's been in love for a long period of time knows it's multi-layered. and it's like, I think most of us, like when we first start to feel it, I think it's more geared towards being attached to the person, like the feeling of being attached and having someone there and all of that. And it feels good. And then the layer underneath that is kind of like the everyday stuff and the challenges and the work that you have to put in, and they kind of have to fit together. Like they talk about I love you, but do I like you? They all kind of have to go together for you to sustain over time. So I think it's both. I think it's a feeling with the choice of actually wanting to be in it and staying in it, in the things that you got to do over time. Like, for me, and I know for a lot of people, the relationship, the pieces of the relationship, the who you are, it changes over time. And the love kind of has to morph and move with that roller coaster with you. So the other stuff that lies underneath the feeling got to be intact too, or it's going to crash and burn. So that's been my experience.
Yes, sir. I was shaking my head the whole time. Yep. That's what I think. That's what I think. How about you, Michelle and Quintel? What y'all think? Is love a feeling or is it a choice?
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Mr. Gumbo, where it's definitely both. It's definitely multi-layered, and it's also a continuum, so there's like, you love people at a particular level at a certain point in time, and then over time it grows to something else, and then like he said, it's multi-layered. So you got your friends that you love on a certain level, there's your friends that they ask you for $20 and you ain't got it, and there's just friends that ask you, I need you to come right now, and you drop everything and come, you know what I mean? And then with your spouse, listen, everybody loves the way a 25-year-old looks, but at some point in time, we're not going to be 25 years old. So you have to be able to love your spouse for who they are and what they look like when you're 85 years old, and not care that they're not the 25-year-old that you met however long ago,
Yes. I agree with that. I think it's definitely both. And sometimes the fact that it's a choice kind of it I don't want to say determines how the rest of it goes, but when it's not all roses and butterflies and unicorns, that choice part got to kick in and be like, you know what? I know what I'm in this for. I know what we have. And you make the choice to be like, we're going to work this out, or we're going to get through this, or we're going to deal with this, or whatever it is. So you got to, the emotion is the easy part, right? You know, because that's how it all started. But when it gets down to it, it's you're making that choice to make it work.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Yes. I feel like love in the initial stages, it starts out as that feeling that it overtakes you. But then after that dies off, you're actually choosing this person every single day. I'm choosing to do life with you every single day, even on the days when sometimes I don't want to look at you. Sometimes I can't stand you. Sometimes you get in the morning, your breath stink. I still choose you. So, I think people get caught up in the feeling, and as soon as that feeling goes away, they think the relationship is over. The relationship is supposed to end. The relationship has run its course. They forget you have to choose this person every day, and then you have to choose to do things that will bring those feelings back.
Right.
Right. And let's make sure that people are aware that we're not discrediting the love part, because that's very instrumental in the scenario. Like you just said, Erica, it's a choice to try to make sure that you're maintaining that feeling from day to day, you know, because love is not easy to maintain all the time. Like you said, I wake up in the morning and your breath is kicking like Bruce Lee, I might be like, whoa, wait a minute. You know,
Then
you know,
damn.
in a shock in the morning, like bam, whoa, wait a minute, you know, or you know, and or something else. You know, you may have a scenario.
Him in work clothes, because he never goes anywhere with anybody. So they had a day where they could dress out. He put on some khakis and a shirt that they gave him. I didn't see him before he left home now. And you know, I bought that 1 Million Man cologne. You know, that stuff smells real good. You know, women love stuff that smells good. So he texted me, he said, so-and-so said, you look good in regular clothes. Turn around, let me see you. I said, that's a little sus right there. So when he comes home, it's late. And I had a few sips of wine.
Uh-oh.
So I said, oh, you do look good today. See, I don't trust that. What you said now? Who said this? And what did you do? But he knew I didn't mean anything by it. And he does me like that sometimes. Like Gator says, he watched my TikToks. Like my TikToks are sometimes stuff that most men wouldn't allow their women to do. And I asked him, I was like, do you mind if I do this? It's got a little twerking in it. He said, did you do it before you met me? I said, yeah. Did you do it in your last relationship? I said, I ain't really posted on the internet. He said, well, no. I said, too late. And that was it.
You know, now I'm not saying you don't have really risque TikToks. I've seen risque. Yours aren't really like that. And it was cool that he actually got involved in, what was that? There wasn't the last, it was the one before that, where, you know, to see him actually participate in that TikTok was kind of cool. I feel like that's couples bonding.
I had to do some begging for that.
Oh, you had to beg. But it was cool to see both of y'all in there. And he looked like he was having fun.
He was. He won't tell y'all that he was.
Right.
I could have waited.
So what about you, Gator? You think jealousy has a place in a healthy relationship?
So to be completely honest, I've got kind of a weird opinion on this. I'm one of those people who I think that not necessarily jealousy, but I do want some acknowledgement. Like if I'm looking good, I'm smelling good and things like that, and you just like, okay, have fun, go ahead. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm looking good, smelling good, people. Or if I come home like, oh, this woman tried to holler at me or said this or said that. Oh, okay, well.
I'm gonna be like, well, she's supposed to. I mean, if I like you, she's supposed to like you.
Yeah, she's supposed to, but I kind of almost want a little bit of like oh, wait a minute, I want a little bit of territorialness. I'm not even gonna lie, but you know what I'm saying? It may be the toxicness in me, but I want a little bit. I want a little bit of territorialness. Like, you know,
I'm
like,
still
wait a
working on
minute.
you.
You know, I know. It's like, you know, I want you to be like, well, wait, hold on. She did what? Wait, that's my man. Hold on. Let me make sure that I get this. Let me make sure I put these borders out here. You know.
No, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna say, but what did you tell her?
Yeah, but right. I'll be like, no, I didn't do nothing. But then I'll be like, yeah, I didn't do anything. Okay, cool, whatever.
Okay, we cool then. We
cool, but dang, wait. This other woman was trying to talk to me, and you did. Egas.
Gator like a little bit of toxicity. He like a little bit. He need a little bit of toxicity.
Little bit of toxicity. You know what? A little bit of arsenic is good for you in the blood.
Wow.
No, it's not. No, it is not. I don't stand behind what he just said, y'all. Especially from the record.
The views expressed are only the
right, exactly.
Not the views of the Dope Discussions podcast. But yeah, but yeah, I think that's just a little bit of that. Like Erica said, she's still working on me, but a lot of it is just kind of like, hey, I do want somebody to actually kind of show a little bit of passion, a little bit of emotion, a little bit of like, oh, well, no, you mine. You know, I do want a little bit of that. I would rather that than just be like, okay, deadpan, whatever.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna send you Wanda from the.
I'm a fire sign, okay? I'm an Aries. I'm a fire sign. We like that passion. We like that fire.
You is man,
like
and you is
See, Quintelle is cool, but every now and then her antenna goes up for certain people, and you know, I think, and I have to trust her that she knows what she's talking about. She'd be like, "Who you with? Do y'all need adult supervision?"
Right,
and it's not
women,
often.
Women know that.
It's every now and then. It's some people that she's suspicious of.
Yeah, we can feel other women's radar. We be knowing. Oh
yeah. But I'll be quick to say something like, come here, let me tell you. You see this right here? Yeah, come back over this way.
All right, y'all. I love this. So we're gonna close it out with the last question of the night. And we're gonna go around the table. What do you all, in your personal opinion, feel are the components, the ingredients for a healthy relationship? What needs to be in place to have that? Do you feel that if you only have love, is that all you need to keep a relationship together? Or what are the other components that needs to go along with that love? So I'm gonna start with Ashley.
Well, I feel like love is not enough to keep a relationship going. There needs to be open communication, understanding behind that communication, and not just listening to your partner to answer, but listen to actually understand where they're coming from. And like, I believe in keeping your individuality as well. As like, I do things that I do certain things that I like to do off to myself. Then I also like to do certain things with my mate. So I like to keep my personal stuff, like the stuff that I like and only me, I like to do that alone to give me like that space to, I guess, take a step back and just enjoy life. Not saying I don't enjoy life with him, but you know, it's certain things that I like to do to keep myself balanced. I really just like to be alone most times and just do like crazy stuff, like make TikToks. And I feel like every relationship, you should establish some sort of friendship. Now, you want to be able to talk to that person and sit down talk to them about anything, even if it's about them. Those hard conversations that would probably hurt their feelings. I feel like those are conversations that need to be had. And the only way you can really have those is if you have a friendship established.
Right.
And I also feel like stepping out of your comfort zone and into their comfort zone like trying different things that they like to try. It just, I don't know, it's something about trying other people's things that bring people closer together, because you're like, I didn't know this. This is so cool, you know?
Right.
It's like I'm a little bit more experienced in like different life things than he is. So he's like, he'll be like, I don't know. But I'm like, come on. It's all right. Let's go.
And then later he figure out he might like it more than you do.
Right. So I feel like those will carry on a good relationship.
Awesome. And let's go to Mache and Quintel. What do you feel are the components of a healthy, long-lasting relationship? And we know y'all know.
Yeah. Well, I think the foundation of our relationship was, like you just said, friendship, but we enjoy each other's company. Like, we were friends and we was having fun from day one, you know, even before we were trying to be in a relationship. We just really, and just like, I actually like him.
Yeah.
Surprise. So I want to be with him all the time. And, you know, we always say, you know, people would tell us, can't nobody spend that much time together and it's going to last. Well, I mean, but that's what we want to do. So just really enjoying each other's company, spending that time together, wanting to be together, being friends, and, you know, just communicating is definitely key as well.
Right. Now, before I go to Derek, this is another question I wanted to ask you. In a relationship, we know you have to, you know, we cannot expect our partner to read our mind and to know our thoughts and what we're feeling. We have to verbalize that. Mm-hmm. What's the balance in communicating to your partner, and then there's some things that you feel like your partner should just know about you that you don't have to tell them? What's the balance in that? Well, with me, I just, after a while, I'm like, you should know this already. So then make it stick next time. That's one. Wait, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I'm in trouble now. So here's the thing. I thought that you were switching the camera angle and talking to the other person. So I was really concerned because I was like, the camera's still on us. So my focus was on keeping my face normal while the camera was on. So I didn't really hear your question.
I saw that. She gave you a look. Shame. She gave you a look that was like, oh, wait a minute.
Right. So I was like, wait, why is the camera still on us? She's not talking to us. All right, so run that back. What's that question again?
It's right on the screen.
What other components? No, she asked another question. Not the what are the healthy components. But yeah, well, as far as what are the healthy components of a healthy relationship? Like everybody's saying, I agree. Definitely communication, friendship, great, if not great, at least good sex. And I would say that a shared destiny. So when people talk about love and being in love, I think one thing that's important is if you're heading in the same direction, because if she wants something different out of life than what I want, it's going to be difficult no matter how much we like each other.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And that was going to be one of my questions, but I'm not gonna keep y'all in here all night long.
But I do want to actually say something about that. You mentioned like sex, and you know, we all have this idyllic thought of relationships and, you know, how they should go. But a lot of times we don't actually address the physical component of it, you know, which actually comes back to the emotional component of it. Like, it's nothing wrong with, you know, trying to please your mate. There's nothing wrong with, you know, trying to find out what your mate's physical needs are. So just you saying that, I feel, is important. You know, I mean, they've been together 15 years, 14 technically, 15 coming up. Y'all need to pay attention, ladies.
I'm always count on Gator to concentrate on the sex.
Of course.
I know he wanted to make that point stick.
I had to interrupt. I'm like, wait.
I know
Sex.
as soon as the word sex came out of Michelle's mouth, I saw your face. Yes.
She walked
Somebody
backstage. I
else said
said, look, I'm like, hold on, with me,
Yes.
me.
He opened the door for me to come on in.
You know the funny part is,
Exactly.
I'm on my boyfriend's laptop doing this because his camera's a lot better. As soon as she said something about sex, he said something about sex. Like his notification came through for like a Facebook group message. It says titty suckers.
Wow.
I had to embarrass him for a moment.
Oh, snap.
Since we're going there.
Yeah.
You know what? Dope discussion.
And that is a part
Hashtag
of great sex.
busted.
Was he doing research? Is that part of his research?
That's his name.
It was research. Let me speak up for that man. That was research.
That's research. He's doing
Gotta get the
research.
job done.
Yes, love it. All right, Derek. What do you
Y'all
think
didn't
the
leave me
component?
anything.
They took it off. They took it off. They ain't leave you nothing for the
They
gumbo.
took it all, but y'all know I'm an engineer, so I'm gonna take a layer off the top and I'm gonna give some context to a couple of these things. I'm gonna take like 60 seconds. So this is something that I had to learn later on. The whole friend thing, being a friend, wasn't really that important to me. I wanted the feels. Forget the friendship. I just want to be in love and I just want to be in a relationship. The friend thing, like when I really thought deep about it, when you talking to or dealing with a friend, you let your hair, well, I can't, you let your, I was going to say you let your hair down, but you let your hair down, right? Your friend can mess up a little bit, but you know, they always going to be your friend. They're going to be there. You can talk to them about anything. There's not a whole lot of tension with your good friend. And when you have that in a relationship, then that spawns into how you communicate. Mm-hmm. When we start to get to these arguments and these little tensions of, oh, I don't think it should do it and all of that, then sometimes that friendship thing starts to diminish and we forget it's there and then it's a mess. And so that's why that having those safe spaces to come in and say, I didn't like that. And the other person saying, I understand how you feel. Let's work it out. That's what friends do. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it gets lost. So that's why the friendship and the communication, they go hand in hand. And those are really like the biggest components. Like we talked about sex and all this other kind of stuff. But if you can't get that right, the whole thing crumbles. Because you're going to be walking around just salty every day. Like, he ain't take the trash out. I don't like the way his shoes look. He need to put on a different. And then it starts to become, and then the man going to be like, hold on. Right. Then he going to hang out with the fellas 5 days a week.
Exactly, man. Look. I feel you on that. That's one of the reasons why. Show, though. Right. Hey, look, that's one of the reasons why recently I've been more into the friendship aspect of getting to know somebody than just I got the lovey-dovey feels and this person got me butterflies in my stomach. Because 20 years from now, you're going to be able to change my diaper and still be chilling on those feels.
Come on, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be just being real. Or you going to be able to like, hey, look, I got my dentures. I need to go ahead and pick your dentures up from Walmart, blah, 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 blah. Are you going to be good with that? Right. You know, I mean, because yes, lovey-dovey and butterflies are great, but I'm starting to pull them to not the preliminary, but the secondary. First of all, I want a strong foundation. I want to know that I'm your friend, and if I have some sort of issue going on, you're going to be there for me regardless. Right. So, the lovey-dovey, the butterflies, and all that kind of stuff is really, really nice, and it sounds good. And all these fairy tales, Shrek, Prince Charming type things, that's great. But are you going to be my friend? So, if I'm down bad, are you going to be able to kind of say, you know what, you my friend, I'm going to be there for you. I want that friendship because I can't talk butterflies to you, but I can talk about some of the stuff that's going on in my life, and maybe you can contribute and we can move to another level. So I want you to be my friend first.
Mm-hmm.
After that, then if we can, I get them butterflies and I get those thoughts when I see you in that sundress.
You want friends with
Then
benefits.
those are great. But you know what? Friends with benefits, that don't sound all that bad if the benefit is actually finding somebody who is going to be there regardless of what's going on, but we're in love. That don't sound that bad. The benefit is me being in love with you.
Right. The benefit is you gonna be my husband.
Right. Right. The benefit is you're gonna be my wife. We're gonna do this thing. Friends with benefits don't sound that bad then. I ain't talking about sex.
Right.
I'm talking about other stuff. But I want a friend first. Let's build that strong foundation and then we'll go from there.
Yes. All right, y'all. This has been one dope discussion. I am so enjoyed y'all. Y'all have made this awesome. I'm sure our viewers and our listeners are eating this up, and I love it. So we're going to close out the show. We're going to go around the table, and I'm going to let everybody, tell the viewers where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can listen to your podcast and your content. So we're going to start out again with ladies first with Miss Ashley.
There you go.
Well, again, I am Ashley D. I'm the host of Audaciously Me. You can find me on any platform that you get your podcast. Wherever you find your podcast, you can get it. And if you don't really have any of those apps, I put all my content on YouTube, and you can find that at Audaciously Ashley. And you can also follow me on Instagram at audaciously_me_. My TikTok is the same.
All right. And we got Mr. DJ Derek Jones.
So Relationship Gumbo podcast is everywhere. And what I did was I just made a hub so you don't have to, I can't keep giving people all the different names on all the platforms. So if you go to relationshipgumbo.info, you can get the Instagram, the YouTube, the podcast. I think we're getting ready to do episode 57. So you got a lot of stuff to binge. Nice. When you're in your downtime, Alexa, all that stuff, I'm everywhere, just like Ashley is. Just go there. It's like a one-stop shop. You got merch there. Like I'm wearing, this one's coming out like tomorrow, but everything's there, like everything. So just go to relationshipgumbo.info and just get it in. It's a lot of stuff to check out.
All right. Awesome, Derek. All right. And last but not least, we got Mache and Quintel of theghostreaders.com.
Yes. So, of course, if you are an author or you need any other type of voice services, you can go to ghostreaders.com. We also have a podcast, the Ghost Readers Podcast, and it's everywhere where you listen to podcasts. And you can find us on all social media platforms at Ghost Readers Inc.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much. Gator, you got something you want to leave the people with before we get out of here?
Man, I would just say that it's been a dope discussion as usual. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thank everybody on the panel for being here. It's been dope, and I'm looking forward to the next one, man. And I'm looking forward to some backstage action right now. I think it's actually going to be really, really nice this evening.
Yes, I love it. All right. Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in. Thank y'all for all the comments. I'm so sorry I didn't get to read them. I was just eating all of this.
We got Google comments tonight too. We got Queen jumping in. We got Q jumping in. Zach came in with some. Yeah, Zach and Freddie, man, love them.
Angel, my sister Keetris.
Oh yeah.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. All right, we are out of here.
We out of here.
Let me get
out.
The visual.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you got Yeah, I like it. I like it.